became obsessed with Mortal Kombat, which didn't take long. Mortal Kombat 1, I thought one day I'm going to own one of these machines. And it's going to be my own one, and I'll never have to pay, and I'll play it whenever I want, and it'll be sweet. And as I said, when I was playing Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 1 and Mega Drive, back then that's when I wanted it on an arcade. And I can show you something that I got for Christmas one year. This is the proof. This thing cost $200 back then. It would have been probably 94. And it's called the Battle Station 2. I don't know if they had these in America, but as you can see, it's a proper arcade station. It's got 2 8-way joysticks and 6 micro switch buttons. One's actually, it's good because one's more Street Fighter style and one's more Mortal Kombat style. The button's going incrementing up like that, and one's sort of just going like that. The only thing is the start and select buttons were just sort of these shitty push buttons. It had turbo switches for a few of the buttons, and this thing worked on pretty much any console, which made it awesome. I mean, if I show you the back here, I've got all the wires hanging out there, but it's got NES, and Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, Master System, Commodore, and Amiga. It's a switch there for Commodore and Amiga. There's also a control pin here. If you're good at electronics, you can actually wire this into an arcade using that control pin outlet. You can actually use this as an arcade panel. So this was the proper thing. That's where it all started. Got that for Christmas one year. And anyway, back to me working in this arcade. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. Yeah, I asked the boss if I wanted to buy this machine, how much would it cost me? And at the time it had Ultimate MK3 in it. It's still got it in there actually. And it was still fairly new, not totally new and not old. So the game itself was worth, I think he told me, $650. And then, you know, for the whole thing he charged me $1,500. That's right, on the dot. $1,500 on the dot. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I saved up the money, worked hard, and I bought it. So then I started putting these. I've got stickers on here. You probably can't see them of the Ultimate MK3 pictures. I've got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Jade there, because this isn't a proper dedicated Mortal Kombat machine. It's just a generic cabinet. And yeah, just a generic cabinet that I decorated, sort of got those stickers on the side, fixed the light. I had the Ultimate MK3 marquee, it's in there. Then I had this really bad polycarb thing here, and I got a Mortal Kombat one, even though this isn't a proper, this was meant for the front. It's like 3 strips, you're supposed to cut it up. I didn't know at the time, but I just wanted something other than what was on it, because the thing that was on it was crap. It was like all black and it had these like colours and just looked shit. And yeah, so I got that, put this new thing on, and I had a little offer going there, $1 for 2 games, $2 for 5 games, which I had to change later because of the arsehole that took over managing the place I was working at. But yeah, I got a license for it. I mean, you needed licenses in Australia back then to own arcade machines. And then, yeah, till 97, which is when it stops, 31st of October. But yeah, fulfilled that dream. And then not long after getting that, I went out and bought a Mortal Kombat 2 board, and I used to chuck it in there, and people would go nuts. And yeah, because I bought Ultimate MK3, that's right. No, sorry, I got Mortal Kombat 1 first, and I was wrapped when I got Mortal Kombat 1, the original, the one that I always wanted to own. I now have. And then eventually I got Mortal Kombat 2 as well. The only thing I'm missing is Mortal Kombat 4, which I need to get because I loved Mortal Kombat 4. A lot of people out there didn't like Mortal Kombat 4. Don't know why. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, on the arcade it was pretty fierce too. It was really fast paced, and I mean, if you watch any of those videos where I'm going to be uploading a Mortal Kombat 4 video soon, where they're talking about the technology of the arcade game. They wanted it really fast and all the polygons. It's true. I mean, when you were playing it, I'm really jealous of those Road Tour people. If you're one of those Road Tour people, I'm so jealous. I always wanted to go to that Road Tour. I actually was naive and thought that would come to Australia, but it never did, of course. We don't get anything good. But I've got the dates of everywhere the road tour went to, and I just love that idea. Those trucks that just had Mortal Kombat. It was just so cool. I've never seen a marketing campaign like that. This is the best. And they were still working on the game when those trucks went around America, and they were updating the ROMs all the time. And yeah, I'm wondering. Apparently, there's a version of Mortal Kombat 4 on arcade that had Goro. I'm wondering if they had that at the road tour and then took him out later, then put him in the home version. But yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, I need to get MK4. I'll tell you something funny. In Australia, I was talking about the censorship with games. House of the Dead had come out, and Mortal Kombat, House of the Dead 2, and someone put in this really stupid thing where they wanted to cover the screen up to stop people seeing the violence, and they came up with this curtain. This is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. So you had two brackets on each side, and had two poles coming out about this far, and then you had a curtain that went around the poles like that, and would cover up the screen. Now the funny thing was, the curtain was only that high, so a little kid would walk straight under the curtain and start going, and would see all the violence anyway. So it was really fucked. It was just to stop people walking past going, oh my god, look at that, you know. And yeah, when MK4 came out, they had to have this curtain, because any MA game in Australia had to have the curtain. And they still have the curtains, believe me. I don't know if it's enforced as much anymore, but I still see the curtains around. I think I've got a photo of one. I'll upload one, and I'll put the link in the YouTube description. But so shit. And yeah, it's sad because that would be the last Mortal Kombat on arcade. Mortal Kombat 4. I really wish Deadly Alliance had been on arcade. That would have been so sweet on arcade. Deadly Alliance was a great game. I mean, it was a great game on the home systems, but you can't beat the arcade, man. You can't beat, getting good and people watching how good you are. The challenge. Like sometimes you'd play and someone would come up, get a challenge, and be like, yeah, Now the internet's ruined it, because you can't see who you're playing, and then they start being nasty, doing this shit, and I mean, you'd get that a bit in arcades, but it was more, the guy was standing right next to you, so you could only be cocky if you really were good, you wouldn't just, there's a lot of people on the internet just, they'll be cheap or whatever, but if you did that in the arcade, you risk getting bashed. So yeah, and there was, I could talk all day about Mortal Kombat. I really could. There's so much stuff in this room that you can't see. Is where I sort of store my Mortal Kombat stuff. There's a Deadly Alliance stand there, Australian one. There's the UK band Deadly Alliance stand there, the Bloody Hug. There's stuff from previous jobs, all promotional material. There's another Mortal Kombat stand there, sealed in the box. I haven't opened. But it was great, because when I went to E3 in 2006, I finally got to meet Ed Boon. And after being through all this stuff, after going through all this Mortal Kombat history, and going from no blood to having blood, to owning the arcade, to playing the new versions, to seeing all this, my dream was to one day meet Ed Boon and John Tobias and say, thank you for making such a great game. I was never really that great at schoolwork and stuff. If any of you guys have gotten an email from me or seen me on IRC, I'm sure you'll know that that's the truth. I mean, my spelling and grammar isn't that great, but this gave me something to. I just really got into it. Needed something back then, and just sort of still don't know what I really want to do with myself with life, but I love the Mortal Kombat franchise. It keeps me going, you have to have something, you have to keep your mind active on something. Now I've got my Mortal Kombat website, and I play my games, and it just keeps you active, and I learnt HTML because of it and everything, and it's good. And yeah, when I finally got to E3, because it was a dream to get to E3, around 2000, I started seeing E3 stuff and going,